It's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.
Mary had a little man.
The fall. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
So, supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me.
Oh, my God.
So we'll see. But the whole concept of the light, the way it kills it in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful.
Our long national nightmare is almost over. It's nary over. Nary over, everybody. It's almost. I'm exhausted. Are you exhausted? He's exhausting, this man. It was just an exhausting thing. I mean, now everybody's running lists of his most notable lies. His most notable. You know, the whole entire 4 years has been a running lie. A lot of people did not survive the lie. A lot of people are going to jail today for the lie. The United States Capitol, the center of government, the White House, the Capitol buildings, the reflecting pool, the Lincoln Memorial. It looks like a green zone in Iraq is what it is. It looks, I mean, it's amazing. I hope if you live in D.C., I hope we never have to live to see this occupation by military people in your lifetime ever again. We do have like one more day to get through, less than 24 hours, but one more day to get through. And I will tell you that what we learned this morning is really pretty disgusting and scary and frightening and ugly, that 1 guard members have been relieved of their duty safeguarding and creating a green zone around the Biden inaugural, 12 of them. This morning we heard about 2 that were removed after they had ties to militias discovered by the National Guard that's doing vetting of these people, because we know that there are these 3 percenters, Oath Keepers, Proud Boys, you name it, that are telling each other that they could pose as National Guardsmen and infiltrate the inauguration that way and kill people. And so this morning we found out that 2 were removed from inauguration duty because they had links to right-wing militia groups. And just as we were going to air, Reuters, that's why you can see my computer's on. Reuters just said 12 members of the United States National Guard have been removed from duty helping secure the inauguration of President-elect Joe Biden after vetting, which included screening for personal ties to right-wing extremism. Now, this is the result of years, almost 5 years of Donald Trump being on the scene, of Donald Trump promoting racism and violence, and Donald Trump promoting white nationalism, and Donald Trump promoting hatred and vitriol, and that our elections are rigged. I mean, he said this in 2016 too. But the thing was that in 2016, as he was seeding the ground for his loss, which he suspected would happen, and he was telling you over and over and over and over and over again that the election was rigged, he won. And people like me were saying, what's he going to do if he wins with this rig thing? But he won, and then he put Chris Kobach in charge of finding election fraud. Chris Kobach from Kansas couldn't find any election fraud. and the whole election fraud investigation, poof, disappeared. And that was that, because there wasn't any. And, listen, it was a long buildup ahead of 2016. And the same damn big lie was propounded and perpetuated this time. And this time he lost. And so now, for some strange reason, people believe the big lie that he started telling back in 2016.
This whole election is being rigged. That election is going to be rigged, and I hope the Republicans are watching closely, or it's going to be taken away from us.
We have to make sure that this election is not stolen from us and is not taken away from us.
Go and watch these polling places. I hear too many stories about Pennsylvania, certain areas, and we can't lose an election because of you know what I'm talking about. It looks to me like a rigged election. Well, it's rigged here too, believe me. So I just hope the Republicans are going to be very watchful. The election is being rigged. So it's a rigged election, but we're not going to let it happen. It's a rigged system. It's just terrible what's going on. The election is being rigged by corrupt media. The corrupt media is trying to do everything in their power to stop our movement.
The crooked Hillary Clinton campaign and the mainstream media, which they control and use quite viciously.
It's a rigged system. It's a rigged election. We're going to beat the rigged system. We're going to beat the rigged election.
Today is the best evidence ever that we've seen that our system is absolutely, totally rigged. It's rigged.
First of all, it's rigged. And I'm afraid the election's going to be rigged. I have to be honest. The whole thing is one big fix. It's one big fix. It's one big ugly lie. It's one big fix.
So that was 2016, okay? That is what that is. And he said it over and over and over and over again so that he would be able to incite violence against Hillary Clinton or, people in Congress that had to certify the election back then. Now, people believe him, and that's not at all surprising because, as you can see there, that was a live assist from Fox News. That was a live assist, and that was before we had conspiracy media. Well, we had Alex Jones back then, okay, so we had that, where the Oath Keepers would go. They would go to appear on that show to stoke hatred for our country, to stoke violent rhetoric, to tell people that if Donald Trump didn't win, that they had to go out and do something. We've now seen that something done. And people are now starting to get arrested for the doing of the thing. Before they were only talking about doing the thing. Now they've done the thing, which is a bloody coup attempt, and they're getting arrested. Now, it's really weird that there's so much work to be done to educate citizens to resist the conspiracy media, to resist these powerful... It's a powerful pull of people believing what they already believe and confronting them with reality. That's a tough thing to do. Now remember that the people who believe what they already believe and are being told a big lie over and over and over again are surrounded by people who believe what they already believe, and they've already made choices about what to do about this fake thing that they believe. And so if we do get through tomorrow without any violence at state capitals or at our national, our Washington, D.C. capital, if we do, we still are going to have a long road ahead to undo what a very talented demagogue has done to this country. The good news is help is on the way. The good news is Biden has a very, very busy schedule for the first 10 days and the first 100 days. Go to RandiRhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.